if I
So
saw.
we are recorded.
You're front and center, so.
Are
we live?
If we want all the,
All that makes you feel any
if
better.
you want all the attachments
I'll put them
from the
on
community
couch.
fire page, they're right here.
Like, toss
Great
the
name.
bird.
Okay.
Is there a password to get on the internet here?
You want?
I don't know it, I
think
just,
stay late for and then they lose.
Yeah.
Just have.
I think,
Couple times.
I don't know, I remember the
Yeah,
Wi-Fi.
I'll drink my nephew.
All right.
I got on it a long time ago and it
This
just automatically
will still help.
connects.
For a little while.
I'm surprised there's no,
All right, we're live. I'd like to call this meeting of the Coventry Municipal Fire Commission to order at 6:01 PM. Roll call, Hillary Lima here, John Paul Verducci,
Here.
Lieutenant McCann,
Here.
Captain McLoone,
Here.
Russ McGilvery, Peter Rondeau,
here,
Jillian Weinmiller,
Here.
Daniel Perillo,
Here.
Robert Savetti,
On his way.
Stephen Angel. All right, we'll do a quick pledge. Is there a flag in here?
Nope. We have a Coventry flag.
All right, and we have a Portuguese flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I held it. I got-
Yeah, he's got a flag, nice. All right, in the event of an emergency, our closest exit is door 3, the back part of town hall here. We've got one item of business this evening, workshop of the Coventry Municipal Fire Commission to finalize the report to be presented to the council. I wasn't here at the last meeting, but I talked to Dan. Basically, it sounds like we're just looking to identify what things need to be updated in the report, what things need to be added. For those who may not know, we've brought in Assistant Town Manager Maria Broadbent. We've kind of recruited her to help compile this final report, somebody on town staff. Maria has over 3 decades of experience in municipal management. And she kind of does a lot of our policy and big projects here, so happy to have Maria here, so she'll be taking notes. She has the latest version of the report that was discussed. So if you guys just want to go through, I'm happy to go around the room and you can just rattle off what you feel needs to be updated or added. And just let her know. And, I don't see this being a hugely long meeting. And then we can get this thing updated and in front of you all again. And hopefully get it to a better place to submit to the town council. So,
Couple things.
Yeah.
So, I know we discussed during the work session during our last 6 months about the pension number, what that new pension number is gonna be. I know we talked about getting a resolution in front of the council to have that study done, like $12,000.
would that be lumped in with the police one that's being done?
No, that's just this one separate.
Okay,
So I don't know where we are with that. Do we want to move forward with that now?
I would put that in the
It won't-
report.
It won't be part of the report, obviously.
Well, I would put it in the report that acknowledged that that was discussed.
Yes,
And that this is what would need to happen if the council wanted that information.
Okay.
I would put that.
And this is the study to make sure we know what we're actually gonna do for all 4
yes.
districts being in.
Everyone's in MERS
Everyone.
except Western.
Yes, I have all the Western data, Jillian got it all for me. so
Okay.
I basically have to just give all that new data to MERS. They'll combine that with our current data of staffing, give us what our pension liability will be. They said they'll take everyone in. If there are people that aren't currently in, they will take everyone in. They will have a one-shot opportunity to come in. If they don't want to come in, then they're out. All new employees would be in. That's what I've been told. That accurate, Kev?
That sounds right. We've already got, we're adding 5 right now, and they're already, we have one that's already just started his first shift this week. The other 4 start the academy next Monday. They're already gonna stop paying once
Yeah.
that first weekend, so they're already in.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of still with the personnel from Weston.
Yeah, so the full-timers that are in Weston right now, if they become part of the municipal fire department, if it happens, you'll be given the option, do you want to join MERS? Or do you want to stay on the outside with your, instead of 401k or whatever they have? they have a choice of what they wanna do,
Mhm.
one time only.
But then anyone new hired,
Has to
yeah,
jump into MERS,
Has to.
because it's gonna be unionized, so it's gonna be part of MERS.
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Anything else?
And the last part is, again, I know this came up during the last meeting with Mr. Heavy and the $5 million. That wasn't part of our discussion during our last 6 months, so I'm not really sure how we include that or even recommend to the council how we could go about paying for that number. We're not even sure, that might not even happen. We may decide that maybe we're not going to move forward with purchasing anything. But I don't know, so I'm not sure if we can include that in the report itself, because
That's what I was.
I don't think we have the
So-
resources to identify.
So
that.
there's a pros and cons table in the back for each option. I think that there should be like an asterisk next to any option about status quo or Western being left alone or municipal. And then kind of a large or meteor note that, you know, signifies this is what the board at Western has indicated that they plan to do should this go forward. And then I don't know if there's an appendices of the inventory and how they arrived at that number that could be included.
We don't have that, I know that.
I thought Jillian submitted,
I
Oh, we have that?
emailed you
Did
guys
you
a
do that?
couple weeks ago.
yeah,
Oh, okay, the breakdown, okay,
Put it in.
all right.
yeah, I'd say we put that in as a,
And just one last thing, I don't know, I know all the options on the last page, I don't know if there is the feasibility or legality of three. With them being the outlier. I don't know if we can set up a tax base where we're charging. The eastern part of the town one tax rate and the western part of the town a separate tax rate.
yeah, that's a policy discussion the council has to have.
I'm not sure we can
Policy
do
would
it.
not be.
I'm not sure we can even do it.
Oh, yeah, where you
Makes
can,
sense.
where you, I don't know if you can abate a class of people like that. Yeah,
Is there?
Not for municipality.
I wouldn't think so, I don't know.
In addition, there was some, this goes 2 meetings, 3 meetings ago. There was some, follow-up from a legal standpoint about abolishment of the districts. There was a number of items there that were supposed to, but we never got an answer to those.
Yeah, that document supposed to be asked for.
And so still, I know MERS was one of it, the other one was, what does a town have, what could they do?
Yeah.
Or what, like the referendum, that was all thrown in there, but
Yeah.
we never heard.
yeah, we
nothing.
need the
We
whole
didn't hear
legal
nothing on that.
appendix.
Does a district exist afterwards?
Right, yeah, well, the
So-
district and.
Yeah.
Is it just losing its taxing authority
Right.
or,
They
you
can
know, is
remain a district, right? I guess it's some with some
be a
other
museum if
districts
they
that,
want?
right.
Well, that's exactly what
Although-
happened with Cranston. That's exactly what happened with Cranston.
Yeah.
Cranston, when it became a municipal department, they still had, what, 2 volunteer departments?
Yeah.
That
It's Greenwood. no? Is that- No, it's Florida.
If you're in a cut.
was Shannigat and one of the other ones. But Tuxet, yeah, Tuxet and Shannigat, they kept going for a while. Again, they were not fire departments anymore. They were
Yeah.
just kind of like clubhouses.
Yeah,
Right, you have those, you
it's
also.
like a
have-
VFW firefighters.
So were they
Exactly, yeah.
staffed?
What's
What's
that
that?
one?
Were they staffed or they had volunteers?
No, it was volunteers.
It's still like an independent district on there and against it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they just handle water or something like that, something to do with the water, but they're still named the district.
Again, one of the other concerns, again, legal issue is, say this happens July 1st of next year. What happens to the medical billing that went out?
Right.
After July 1st, where does that money go to the town or to the district?
We discussed that last week, though, that once the axe drops, then any of those outstanding contracts, all that, the town absorbs that. And that's how that's resolved. That was, I've got the gentleman's name that was talking
We
last
get the revenue too?
meeting.
We get the
Well,
revenue
yeah.
too?
Oh,
I
yeah,
asked
I
you
mean,
that
taking the
question.
debt, of course you should get the revenue.
Yeah, I asked you that question too, yeah.
So we need to know from a legal standpoint, is it possible that the selling of equipment cannot be done? Do we know that answer? I mean, they're an independent district, but then if they
I don't
dissolve,
wanna buy that tanker.
You
If
know
I
what?
can put a safety
Well-
factor on that, I don't want that truck.
Wasn't the discussion that the building was gonna get sold and they had a profit that we're gonna do
Yeah, that's
that?
why it's
And
being.
that was gonna be a private thing, they were gonna run through it, I could be mistaken.
You wanna
But
see
if
if
they
it's
wanna
actually
sell
right.
equipment too, then go to firehouseantiques.com and sell your stuff, yeah.
Open Gov.
but there's a
Open Gov.
possibility where we don't need that equipment. We may need the fire station.
Yeah,
So we buy that, but not everything. So it's not a one for one necessarily in this, because I keep thinking we need a section that almost talks about risks. Because the risk to the analysis, so we have pros and cons, but then there's risks of the unknown in the analysis. Currently, we don't know if that's legal. We also don't know if that situation happens, let's say in Western, is there something that we don't even need to buy? So like there's a lot of unknowns with that. That one's interesting to me because that's a big number in this analysis. I mean, you're talking a third of almost the whole deal. If you put it,
what is what, $12 million?
that's why I
To
think.
stop this.
From the 4 million, they're getting 3 or 3.5 just from the station. They're getting that just from.
So the station's the meat of
CFIS.
that, okay.
Is that posted on the site? You were talking about the site where we can get those docks? Jillian, you
No,
said
that was actually my comment. It's not on there.
it's not on the docks yet.
No,
Oh, the one that you submitted with the inventory.
yeah.
Okay.
So they think they're
And
gonna
we
sell the
still have-
station? They think they're gonna sell the station and then distribute the money back to the taxpayers?
And like a
Is that-
rebate check.
Yeah.
That's
Or
what I
you
wanted.
buy it for their number.
How could they
Or you buy it for
possibly
their number.
ever do that?
Your union
These are-
person was right with their pipe done. Just say that.
These are things I wondered about because the legalities of those districts are connected to their ability to levy tax.
So,
And it's like,
so we're not gonna answer that tonight. I wanna go back to around the table. What do others have on their list that we need to either update or add to this report that's missing?
staffing was messed up on the tables, it was
Yeah, the
inconsistent.
Brian Teston stuff that was in there from like the first or second meeting, all needs to be taken out.
Mhm.
We've been through the tested and we went through that stuff a million times. And we all found loopholes and stuff and
So,
holes in it, so.
Did anyone submit in writing new numbers?
Yeah, we did. I mean, the numbers that we did were all changed. Staffing for departments and how we were gonna like first
Sure, yeah.
stage and second stage.
It should be on the little attachment.
I think it's
What you
one
send me,
of the
Dan, is on there.
Okay,
Ray, can you scroll through that right column?
I mean, cause he brought it up at the last meeting, he brought up that, oh, I don't understand, why is Weston gonna jump in on this? Because we're still gonna hire 8 guys and have them all down in Anthony. And I'm like, no, we discussed that has changed.
Yeah, that was a page after proposals. We had 3 different proposals and what's the page after that?
Oh, that was a big one too. I had
Right,
pages
yeah,
all
those
over.
pages
Here
right
it is,
there.
yeah, it's,
Yeah.
yeah, a staffing projection, that PowerPoint, but that's the old Brian Teston one, isn't it?
I think it's like the last one.
On the wall.
That's one of the last ones, it should be, Dan just submitted to us.
I think you have to get a car
That
on.
one,
Yeah, right there, the
because-
Coventry Nursing Home
Nursing home.
current,
Nursing home,
Yeah, attached to that one.
bottom left. Nope, go to bottom, oh, there you go. There it is.
this is the draft for the nursing home, the current response times.
Yeah,
And
but
then if we, well, it was part of my report, if you go, I don't know if this is.
they can scroll to the right there, yeah. Keep going. Yeah, okay, and
Yeah, to keep going one more. This is what proposed phase 1 and phase 2 we talked about.
okay. Got it.
Just needs to be switched.
Yeah, we just need to take out the exhibits that were in the first draft and put this instead.
So remove the, and we need to add page numbers to the document.
Yeah, whoever put the original together.
What
in the world?
The creation stage, but that's where
Yeah,
you put
You get an F.
foreman at Anthony and
You get an
the
F.
discussion we had after that was
Yeah.
get 7 back in service, get it out to the
I
western.
mean, that was
end,
like one of
run out that
the
way.
third meeting, we said, no, we need rescue 7 back
Yeah,
in service.
Western needs the help.
And that's, if you look at phase 2, that's what,
With the advantage of having them, a one department, you had the advantage of sending apparatus to different places. We don't do it automatically now. It's usually requested, every district operates separately. So if we're running short on they used to do it years ago. They would move up station 8 to station 7 when everybody was busy, so that would cut down the mileage and the time. You stopped doing that, going maybe 10 years ago. But we'd be able to do that now, is just shift trucks around to where we'd need them.
So you would backfill somebody went out on a call.
Yeah, we move off,
backfilled
we
with
move
another
up a
department.
truck this.
Is this the same plan that phased out Arnold Road or no?
No, we never phased out.
Oh,
The
okay.
Dynamics.
If you do me a favor,
Discuss over that.
go back to the beginning, this is something that we talked about that you guys want to see. And I think this is big. This is something that needs to go to the town council, because if you look at this, the response to these nursing homes now, there are some nursing homes that will get a rescue and an engine. There are some nursing homes that would only get a rescue.
Yeah, this nursing home stuff isn't in the report at all, so we have to add this.
This is huge. This
Yeah.
is the stuff that ties.
No,
So do you want this in there?
Yeah,
They're
this
not
is
In
paying
part
the
of
for this?
organizational chart, you had Arnold Road as the administrative.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say,
Yeah,
that's what I
that-
thought.
and that was, again, that was one of the things that we just kind of, in the beginning, what it might look like. Not that it's gonna look like, you know, that's just one. of the
But
things-
I think capital wise, you guys advised it's not really worth it to dump money into that building.
No.
Yeah.
Nope.
Like,
Yeah, but you have the fire marshal there and maybe the chief.
Yeah.
It's a good place to stick them.
Yep.
Stick 'em.
Stick them in the shipping container.
Yeah, that's it. But realistically, again, like Kevin's point, once we merge, the chief can make the decision on where the stuff to locate it. But the biggest thing for us is getting Rescue 7 back in service and kind of spreading everything out. So we have additional coverage down on the western end and one more truck, one more engine in service. That's it.
All right. What else? What was on our list to update or add?
How we compare, total tax levy came up because we get some charts or anything.
Yeah.
You remember that one? Yeah.
Yeah,
Because right now, we just wanted to, I think, make it even simpler. And eventually, I think we're all going to this place was, you know, instead of the percentages and some of the other stuff, what is your combined tax levy and your current tax levy, basically, something.
Oh, and that reminds me, we need to update the redundancy savings and if that's washed out by other expenses that we didn't think of. Like Dan mentioned that the redundancy expenses in staff across, non-union staff across the district would be wiped out by the hydrants and lights. So I want to know if that's actually true, and if so,
Yeah, I think Bob found, what did you find, Bob, 400?
It's about 400.
About 400,000.
okay, all
One
right.
680,
So,
we
yeah,
reduced it
so,
to 400.
so if we can put that, we can articulate that in the report, we should update that number.
Have we included the checkbooks and what's still in the black from each of the districts? That will be assumed by the town, when we do merge?
That.
We haven't looked at the balance sheet in total. You'd have to look at receivables, everything. It's not just the checkbooks.
No,
Because you
yeah,
got liabilities as well.
Yeah, I
So
mean, in here it
we
says
focused on
debt and
a
pension
budget
liability.
side, not on.
all right.
According to the document we have right here, total debt across districts, 2.2 million, annual combined debt service, 345 grand. MERS, CFD, 3 million, CCFD, 4.8 million, Hopkins Hill overfunded, Western Coventry not in MERS. So that's already in the current report that we have.
We haven't done this at all, but it might be good to include a section on pension and how it works, because a lot of things on Facebook, it's like, oh, you're just in debt. But that's if everybody retired at the same time, and then people don't understand that.
And it's a yes.
Right, but maybe if that's in the report too, just so it's
Yeah.
on paper, just so you can. Like,
Yeah,
it's not
I
debt,
think
it's debt,
that's
but-
true, because I know there's some folks that perpetuate that.
Yeah.
To make it sound like we have this horrible debt, but it's
Right.
Yeah,
not due this year.
we need to.
And like, how much-
And the funniest thing is, the more people you have paying into it, the less your
Right.
debt, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
If
But
we
you
hire,
include that too.
you know what I'm saying, that's exactly right, after
Young
reading
payers,
this.
young payers.
If you get young people paying into the system, that's how it works.
And this is why I was thinking, you know, pros and cons is good, but risks and benefits is a little bit different in that, you know, you can't necessarily put a dollar to it, but you know, the benefit of that is having more people into the payer side.
Yeah.
You know, and a risk would be, you know, not having that at all. But, you know, there's a lot of things we talked about with that. Now I'm wondering too. So just in general,
Oh, I'm sorry, I spaced out on that. So did we talk about the impact of the fact that there's no senior tax freeze for fire taxes, but it'll all now be lumped in together and it'll be
That's really interesting.
frozen.
Glad you had that moment.
Yeah, you had asked about,
So getting lumped in, right? So this is the word I got from somewhere out west. Off of Weaver Hill, the road off Weaver Hill, where somebody approached one of our guys saying, well, I'm getting screwed twice because. Paying higher town taxes for having the town fire department and we're still getting billed for a fire tax. No.
No,
This is the way it was explained to her. I can't say from who though, 'cause I don't wanna throw anybody on the
Yeah.
bus name wise, but that's how it's being put out there.
so I guess we need to explicitly state in the report that you would be getting one bill.
You just, your town bill, that's it.
You wouldn't have to pay a quarterly bill anymore, it would it would just come out of your mortgage
and
payment.
sees upon something that's anybody in town knows pretty hot button about frozen taxes.
If you're a
And
senior,
if it's true,
It-
here you go. I
if-
mean, if
if-
you wanna sell it, if that's what we're here for.
if you're over 65, you should want a municipal department, because now you're getting that, yeah.
Get that frozen too.
I will say, we have our meeting on Thursday and we are discussing a pamphlet in our taxes and we are talking about this.
Okay,
Not
Can the public come to your, can the public come to your meetings?
yeah,
Anyone can come to our meeting.
I think we need to go to your
How many
meetings.
times have I invited any of you guys?
So the 3,000 people that are frozen now are not gonna get a tax bill that includes fire.
well, no, I think it.
It's incorporated.
Can we one time bump it, because it's an added, like, how does that work? We'd have to look into that.
No, yeah.
Because if they're paying fire tax now,
It would be rolled in. but
it'd be
just not
rolled in, and they
increased,
still,
Just not increased.
Just, you roll that in and make that their new freeze number.
Yeah, so they'd have to get, there'd be that work to do.
It's not-
they make that very,
Here's a tax rate,
Yeah.
this is your assessment, this is what you pay.
You're frozen.
this is what you're paying now, this is what you're paying for
Yeah,
tax.
show that,
This is exactly what you're gonna pay.
yep, okay,
So once it's rolled in, that gets added to what's
And then-
frozen.
yeah, and it's frozen at that new rate, yeah.
Interesting.
And just say, this isn't an increase, you're now just, everything's being paid in one place.
As for a town council, that'd be a huge selling point to you, because if you do freeze the 3,000, so people that. It could be a big sell to the elderly community.
And Kevin will have to answer that question again.
Yeah.
What else is missing? Did you have any more on your list?
Well, just real quick, I do, I have a bunch of them.
You started to talk about how to compare the
Yeah,
total tax levy.
yeah, so I think in general, the note was just to make that chart even simpler, maybe, or, I don't know, I think that's what we talked about. I don't
Yep.
know, Lieutenant, if you remember that.
So the tax levy,
Because ours.
Compared to what you
isn't shown-
have
yeah, if you
now.
look up on municipal finance, let's say,
and
our
what it
tax
would be.
levy has that little asterisk next to it, so it's not a true comparison. If we want to see where we end up ranked with this in the end to provide people context, I think that was kind of the thrust of it. And then bigger picture
As long
wise,
as you understand what that means, Bob.
So you mean Bobby's page here? You
yeah,
want?
yeah,
Update
I
that.
think that's what we were talking about, but please correct me, we had a lot of colorful conversation. at the
I
last-
think you leave that as it is, but then put for those on their couch at home. Is that what you're saying?
Well, it's almost like we need to make it so at
Like
first I
written
was
narrative?
almost thinking like, just do a calculator or something, like something where people actually know how this is gonna affect them at the end of the day, to get rid of like the misconceptions that have been put out there. So like on one hand, I think people are missing some of that context.
Like a
from that.
calculation, someone could put in
So put in
something.
your address and here's what you pay and
The
what you're
tax,
gonna
the
pay.
value of the,
Something that people can look at. Now, you could introduce error and that could be a bad thing too, but I think that's what we're going
This
for.
right
It's
here,
like,
it's 300, 400, 500, 600, 700.
that's what I don't get though, because if you're telling me
For
we're gonna
assessed value.
save 400,000. And
Yeah.
it's gonna cost us 600,000 in the first phase, that should cost the town 200 grand roughly. I shouldn't see a huge increase in my taxes for 200 grand, knowing that's.
Across
Across. Townwide.
36,000 people.
Yeah.
right?
Right,
Just
so
look at
if you look at that real quick, you might see, holy shit, I'm gonna go up.
$20.
Well, not on that, that's the problem, I think. I don't wanna hide how little the impact is, cause I think we had some success at that with the last budget cycle. We said, well, yeah, your taxes are going up 1.5%, that's
Well,
$90
I
on
mean,
a
these are high too,
$500,000 house.
because we're doing one calculation Bobby did was 57, and one we did 67, and right now we've got what, 50 firemen?
That's what I mean, I don't know if we wanna even show giant jumps that we're not there yet, But fundamentally, we take in 12 million or 11 million, and this is gonna cost us 11 million. If I'm the average Joe and I read that report, that's the part I'm going to. Yes, I want a fire department. How much is it gonna cost me? $20 a month or
Well, maybe we
80
scrap,
bucks.
maybe we scrap the 57 and 67 and just put 50
And do the as-is budget.
to the as-is budget.
I think if you take away the percentages too and put dollar amounts,
Yep,
I'll say this right now, you throw percentages out there and
I
people
know.
are like, oh my
Oh,
God.
I know. That would, okay, that was it. That's helpful, yeah, because the tax levy is like $2, let's say. That's what it was. And yeah, that's gonna go
Yeah,
up
that-
200% by this quarter.
We just passed our district budget,
57.
and Chief Pop and I might have overkilled it, but it was simply $400,000, it's $12 more.
This is exactly what I think we
Yeah,
need.
yeah,
Yeah,
because the percentage, you know,
Right, right.
This has real numbers.
There's a calculator on my phone, I didn't know that.
57 and
You know,
67.
Yeah, I think this page needs to be really big and really just show people exactly, hey, listen, you live in a $400,000 house, this is what
I think that's-
additional cost is gonna
that's
be.
something, Maria, we should pay attention to how it's visually presented in the PowerPoint.
Bob, is that how that was done at the annual? The one that I didn't show up for? Right, it was presented on the percentage increase and they come up to a dollar amount,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And people understand. it
We went up 2 cents, but $12, $400,000 is gonna cost you $12 more, and this is what you're gonna get
a month or a year.
a year.
Yeah.
$1 a month. That's what I'm saying. I mean,
And
It
that's
becomes
what-
a non-compensation.
realistically, that's what we're looking at here.
That's-
I did my totals, I
that's
think it was like
front
90,
incentive.
it came up to like
That's
$90.
gonna be the,
And nobody even asked, nobody asked.
Oh, that's so huge.
So we have the numbers available, you know?
Because that's what everybody is assuming. We're taking on this, we're taking on that. Well, those people can always argue that shit. But if the analysis of that eventually proves that is what it's gonna cost you, then you dovetail that with the increases in the KPIs and the response times.
I think you would ask for what might be missing, and I'll just get 2 things out of my way. Number one is the Dynamix, I don't think went far enough to explain the run breakdown. And fires in Coventry going to be this much each year. Flat or damn close to flat, if not dropping. Rescue is going.
let's say, it's your rescue, that's
it's
what
going
Mark
this
already
way, it's going
told
this
us.
way.
Yeah.
So in addition to saying the number costs $12 a year, this is what you're gonna get. Because that's where that's going, but this is where this is going. And then you've got your part about the nursing homes involved and getting people.
Yeah,
that-
firefighters, for a fire department, it's almost a misleading name because over 80% of your calls are EMS.
Yeah.
One other thing I think would be pretty simple to gather, not smart enough to do it, but if we took the last 5 years, and this is along the same line with this trajectory with the rescue runs, where was it 5 years ago? And where is it now? And where do we see it in 3 years?
Well, that was gonna be one of my
Because you-
things.
The
you know
the
it's-
aging
It's going
community.
that way.
Yep,
And the numbers we're looking for is to put something in central Coventry
Yeah.
to provide a better service throughout the
On
town.
one hand, on the other hand, we've got all the growth also. So how is that being captured in here too?
That's what so many people in this town do not realize. They still think that we had like little like 8,000.
This is gonna like, that's like adding a small town.
how
to a
many
town.
units in Coventry Center
City
and
within-
behind that, Mark?
It's,
And most people don't even notice that it's that.
yeah, it really is.
2,500.
5 years.
And that's like 1 bedroom to single family home.
Yeah, so like, I mean, that's a, what'd you just say? That was a good one.
It's a city.
The city of
within
the,
town.
I mean, so with that's gonna
Oh,
come
yeah.
increased
Yeah,
levy,
yeah.
but it's also gonna maybe change some of that, but you bring in some younger people to offset some of the older, but basically it proves that you can't just do status quo. That almost justifies the growth in the phases.
Right,
All right,
take it.
all right.
JP, what were the other things on your list?
Could I just piggyback onto that really quick?
Yeah,
I don't think this necessarily needs to go in the report, but just something that needs to be thought about. I know with Western, we bill for our rescue, so. I've gotten a bill for 3,700. I'm a resident of Western. That's a big part of our income. So you see our
wait, when you say we, you mean,
Western,
oh, okay,
Western bill.
I'm like, you got a $3,700 bill?
Yeah.
No, I did. I ended up in the rescue and I got a $3,700
Okay.
bill. Yeah.
Oh,
Is that?
Okay, so-
So my,
But your insurance paid that, correct?
no, because rescues are automatically out of network. But anyway, that was a whole different story.
Get billed if we don't have insurance.
I know that other
Oh, I got it.
districts don't bill
Resident.
Yeah, we
their
do.
constituents. in
We
the
do
same
third,
way.
we
Yeah,
do third party billing.
party.
So how that works out,
I guess my question is, this is what I've just been told,
yes,
is you bill for the, whatever the insurance will grab, you're not gonna bill your constituents more.
Yeah.
Mine will bill.
Coventry
There's a
residents.
Right.
If my rescue goes mutual aid to West Warwick.
Right.
Sorry, will we bill them the full kit?
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm saying, like, you don't bill your constituents more. So just from our Western standpoint, that's a big part of our income. So I think that needs to just be thought about.
so what the comparison is between Weston and the rest of the.
People pay it.
$2,500.
Guys, one at a time, one at a time.
So if you send out a bill, say Rescue 7 goes out, sends out a bill for one Walker Lane for $1,000, we'll just use the number $1,000. There's a predetermined amount that's offered from the billing company, from their insurance company, whether it be Medicaid, Blue Cross, Blue Chip, United, doesn't matter, they all offer a settlement price at the beginning. The billing company will give you the option of yes or no, take that, and that's your, you might get $500 out of that bill of $1,000. Okay, if you don't, and the bill goes through, they'll pay only what Blue Cross is gonna pay, which sometimes with Blue Cross, it's 100% depending on your plan. Some other plans.
I have, so I've actually gotten 2 bills, so I've given Western $7,000. My husband had to go because he had food poisoning while he was working.
I'm still trying to figure out why you.
In Highway. Just different years. It was different years, so one year it was Cigna, one year it was Aetna.
I mean, but I'm talking about,
Also, each one of those companies do not cover rescue billing.
Not for mine, it's considered out of network, and my deductible for out of network was more than the rest of it.
that's ridiculous.
But I know that I'm not the only.
By the bus insurance.
Well, I just wanna put that out there
It
too,
depends on the person's insurance, that's what.
100%.
So say Blue Cross, okay, so Blue Cross, you'll get a bill, and then there's a copay out of that sometimes, right? So say it's $800 they'll cover for the bill, they'll bill you for the $200, but the district will not go out and collect it because you live in town.
What we do is my point.
But Western does, if they come to the east end of town, they bill the Coventry residents for the remainder part of that
They
bill.
do for the Western in the town too, it was, I'm a Western
Yeah.
resident. But my only,
Blows my mind.
I'm only saying this
Yeah, I
because
thought
the-
that
Most
was
taxpayers.
how that was.
And,
done.
I
and
would
your
live there.
taxpayers want us
That's
to
why
not
I-
take that
yeah,
over?
they
That's
wanna
one of the
keep that.
reasons why I joined on the board, to be honest with you, but that's just
That's
a
lot of
big.
money.
Oh,
That's
tell me about it.
crazy.
I
Well,
had to go on a payment plan.
hey, this is something that needs to be
No
taken
kidding.
down. This is something that the taxpayers of that Western District needs to know that.
Yeah.
That should be something that's put in this presentation,
Yeah.
that you're no longer gonna get the secondary billing or whatever. It's gonna be set up like
Everybody else wants
So-
that.
If you live here, you don't pay it.
You
You
just,
just ignore
you
it,
get
right?
collected from Blue Cross, whatever you get, right? That's the way I understand
And
it.
generally, it's
And if the rest of
normally
it's
based
written
on the
up.
bill, and it's all communities, generally collection rates around 20%.
Yeah.
I guess my point is
Yeah.
just, it's a big part of our income, so if that's not how it's going to be billed. Just be cognizant of that, right, and I'm okay with that, I just, that's like, I think you got.
Do you know how much?
Yeah, but JP, I'll tell you this right now, I guarantee you, like he said, normal collection rate's around 25% for Hopkins Hill. I'm gonna say hers is in the single digits.
Yeah.
I guarantee that people get
Yeah.
those bills and like, yeah.
Yeah, they're like, no.
Come find me.
Yeah.
That's what I thought
They
people.
bill you 3 times, the
Numbers are
last
fresh.
one is red and it says.
Up until this year,
That
$382,000
makes me nervous.
rescue recovery.
So,
But
Back-
does
back in the
does that
checkbook.
district have a third party collection?
In fact.
technically,
pays for the quick,
Coronis does do
Right?
collections, but we don't think that they do it for us. But,
They'll keep.
So
That
it's a
doesn't-
service
that
they
doesn't-
have, but not with Western.
Yeah,
well, no, it is a service that they have with Western, but we're pretty sure they don't do it because,
okay.
but taxpayers don't know that. I didn't know that. So I hate it.
Wow.
Is that under what's under rescue revenue in here? Is that-
Yeah, the
that was
triple
that?
R.
But just be cognizant of that, our
4 million.
our revenue would be less if we're not billing the same. That's all.
Yeah, but your revenue is minute anyway. It's, I mean, literally.
That's fine, I just wanted to.
No, it's worth
I think
pointing
it's
out.
good, yeah.
Yeah.
to point it out for that part.
Yeah,
I
that's-
kind of an eye opener.
You didn't hear
for
it from
us,
me.
actually.
You did not hear that from me.
People who are fighting over dollars.
What else is in your list?
So, at one point, we got the inventory of apparatus
Yep,
and it was also misaligned.
Yes.
She pointed that out.
My OCD through the roof.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to align everything.
We had a couple.
Actually, do me a
Or,
favor.
We're looking at the staff.
You know
amounts.
something? Yeah, do me a favor, because after we had that meeting, I'm like, no, you know what? Can you just go to the actual, no, same page, go down to the arrow down in the middle there, go in, I thought I put down their staffing on station 8, let me see, so do me a favor, go to the next page. Yeah, Western Coventry. So Western Coventry right now, crossbands 3 pieces of apparatus, rescue 8, tanker 8, and engine 8.
And broad truck.
Yeah, well, the brush trucks, that's like the boats and stuff like that. That's stuff that you don't man a brush truck, you know what I'm saying? But I when you said that, like.
And the Willie's Jeep. don't
I know,
forget that.
I put that in there, I'm like.
You guys not reappointing a chief,
We,
probably just the,
Oh,
we're
please don't.
discussing that on Thursday.
what, go ahead,
You guys
JP.
are very much welcome to come.
Okay, so we have the org chart.
Yep,
We were gonna add the tanker. And somebody actually mentioned last time about the marine apparatus. Should we at least add it into the tally of equipment?
it's in there.
It's an Italian equipment, but
Yeah.
it's, again, that's stuff that
Right,
we
but
would
it's
never
not for
miss.
manning. No, it
It's
makes
not gonna
sense.
man that, yeah.
So also, there was the total number of personnel that were,
Right.
I think, a little messed up.
We
right
had a
on-
57 and a 58 at some
There was,
point.
there's a 54.
Yeah, that's,
At the top is
those two
52.
pages.
Those
that'll-
two,
Those
figures are
need
being
those
taken
need to be
out.
taken out of there,
Yeah.
because that's all he jumped upon at the last meeting. was
Because
that-
we're kind of in a. I don't know, it's like,
Transitional
yeah,
stage.
like adding on, like you're short two,
Trying,
well,
The
you're short
academy.
one, right, you're short one with one out injured.
No,
that's
we
not
are,
coming
we are
back.
If
short
you need
2,
any
1
help,
out. one-
I'm on vacation the next
Great.
2 weeks. Just so you
Yeah,
know.
all right.
she delivers a baby.
Yeah, before that, yeah.
Ah,
There's no excuse.
JP, what is?
last
No,
couple of
everyone
things.
does on their
Do
vacation.
we
My
want to
computer,
highlight in
and I can
here
help with
the
computer.
risks that have happened with other districts affecting the other districts? So, one of the downsides to all this is if one district has a bad time and another district has to bail them out, that's still an overall risk that isn't gonna go away. There were a couple of them.
Like Anthony having to give loans to Central to.
So
do
just
payroll.
because your district's great, doesn't mean the whole thing is still gonna float well here, because one other district could negatively impact another one. So just
Yeah.
something, to think about on the risk side of the doing nothing part of the not.
The risk side would be leaving it the way it is with separate districts and having to negotiate new contracts.
And that to me needs to lend itself to. The conversation about putting it to a vote, a taxpayer vote. Say the people vote no, then what? The problem still persists.
And my district would be the first one to go to arbitration.
So that's my thing is like, so say the town votes no, so that means status quo. Then what?
Realistically, I'd say within 3 to 5 years, the town implodes. Because you can't, the issue we have now, and Hillary, we keep saying this over and over again.
You're not having to make that case to me, but I think the public needs to understand what's the trajectory with if nothing is done. Because I think there's people that think it's not broken in my eyes, or I haven't had to call, so I don't know that there's an issue.
I would look at it just on my end as a negotiating standpoint, is that, like I said, each district operates under its own, they're like 4 different towns.
Mhm,
I'd have to, we'd be in contract talks with everybody,
I know,
just try meeting the manpower.
yeah,
And that's the biggest thing now. I mean, we just did a hiring Hopkins Hill. And one of the biggest issues, speaking to these people that applied for the job, one of their biggest concerns was that if we don't go to a municipal apartment, is their job going to be secure?
yeah.
And trying to find new candidates, that's a big thing.
Mhm.
And going forward, like we talked about this a million times, we need to, and not to be mean, but we need to take the public out of public safety. It needs to be in the hands of professionals. Every year, or actually 2 or 3 years, we have to worry about some individual getting elected to the board who doesn't care about public safety. They're just interested in breaking up the union or running it into the ground. And we saw this firsthand with Central Coventry's board.
Which is what started this whole process.
Did you receive a document from Councilman Pascal this week?
Yes.
You did.
Cause then that goes back to the earlier point of like,
That's a
that,
big-
that one guy screwing that up there. Will have an effect on the other districts if they have to bail them
Yeah,
out.
there's
so
the-
on and so-
And
Well, like I said before, my board is sending out a letter with our taxes, and it's not good for this,
With misinformation, I'm sure.
with misinformation, so. Ours people will read that and say, no, I don't want this. Yeah, I'm just saying that too. I know that we are only 10%, but
Yeah,
you know something, I mean, I hate to put it out there, I know having a vote for the would be not beneficial, but maybe have a town hall like every week for a month and a half to get the correct information out.
or you make the presentation at 3 different times, maybe there's one on a Saturday morning. And then 2 during an evening or something like that for people to come.
Record it, put it
Question
on
on
the
the
website.
on the question on a public vote, what's the rule now? It's, you don't have to.
Don't we
You have the power,
Yeah, do
right, as
we
the
even
council.
have to have a public?
You're not required to.
Then
I honestly think that if we brought this to the
I
public
agree.
and educate the public,
not a good look, but it makes sense.
But if you also said, and by the way, this will be $4 a month.
I literally think that if it went out to an all-day referendum. And you get the correct information out there, we'd win by a landslide.
Yeah,
Would the individual areas that are covered by the boards vote, just like they would with their budgets?
no, I think
No.
the town's running it, it would be run like the old budget referendums where you have 5 precincts open.
Yeah.
Cause it's not a district issue, it's a town is looking for information.
This come up early on, we had discussions about this, we're all fighting each other. We're looking for qualified individuals to serve our districts, we're all fishing from the same pond.
Mm.
We have different salaries, they're not consistent.
Right.
Like Dan said, and I won't mention because he'll know exactly what I'm talking about, who can pick up and go to Cranston, make $10,000-15,000 more tomorrow. And
So
it-
manpower needs to be highlighted there, or whatever we call it.
Consistency in manpower.
Can we add Maria?
Stability is the biggest thing.
Can we add a paragraph that at least addresses, you know, what are the talking points we're hearing when the districts go to recruit? Like, I think that's worth,
it's, you go in a municipality would be more stable than leaving it the way it is.
Makes, yeah.
Yeah.
I think most people could. pick
I
And
don't,
that's contracts, that's insurances, it's all the things
We-
that we
yeah.
discussed.
we could go in circles on the same point. I just wanna make sure, is there anything
Yeah,
else?
what are the questions that the recruits are asking?
What else do we need to put in or revise in this report? That you
So
guys
we're
had-
gonna stick to the 57 and 67 models, or we're gonna go to a 50% model? What do we wanna put in here?
I think we should literally stick with 57, 58. I think, and I hate to say, but that's the manpower we're gonna need for phase 1 and phase 2.
You're good, you're gonna be at 55 now, right? 2012 is
Well,
40,
we have 54, that was a
47.
discrepancy.
And
for sure.
the 600th thou was to add 4.
Yeah,
2.
4 to 54, so 58 total? This come up last time too.
After
Yeah.
the class
That's right.
finishes this academy, how many are there gonna be? After this
40,
academy,
47, 52.
I think we're
52
hiring one.
plus, you
I think-
have a chief, that's 53 if you count them.
I think we got one
57?
coming on.
53.
Yeah, we have
And you're
one.
gonna add 4, that'll give you 57.
okay,
And sorry, that reminded me, the Marshall, I know that came up. Was it 2 versus 1?
I think 2, well, I don't
We
think
need
2, I think
to.
you need to.
He's the only one right now
Right,
for
yeah,
the whole
no, this
town.
came up
Yeah.
last time, because that person
Yeah.
can also be on standby.
So you have to kind of make the,
Cross, yeah.
yeah, you have personnel, but you have to have line personnel and then staff, you have to separate those. You know, because the line personnel, the guys that you're gonna put on the trucks.
Unless we.
The staff is your chief, your assistant chief, and whatever you wanna put for marshal.
this guy got, like, he was working his tail off to get all of the renewals done, but he kept having to get pulled in because they were on demand. And then that's when we were here, we were here on December 19th approving license renewals.
He's a
for
certified
businesses.
marshal, right? He's a certified marshal. Why can't he pick some slack up?
Different districts.
Yeah,
We're talking about-
here's,
we're talking about
here's, so
Stephen,
here's the
correct?
problem with that.
Yeah, no.
Here's the problem with
Well,
that.
Bob,
Pull a license, pull his fucking license then. Do we buy having a marshal for if he can't do it?
We're recording, by the way.
No, but we have a marshal too, Bob.
Yeah,
Anything else to add or revise for Maria?
Can I just put the considerations need to be made about the level of funding for fire marshal's office? Cause I think that you need at least somebody who's full-time fire marshal. You're about to add all of these other properties,
That's
all these
it.
other commercial.
Yes.
Aren't you
businesses
enough
where-
though? Because we currently have.
Is
4.
there a formula that
Well-
says if you have this many, whatever
Well,
you
got staff
need?
for the day. You can
So
have-
many per
You
thousand.
can have,
Yeah,
you
I
can
don't
have
know.
somebody in the staff position, you can have a bunch of helpers that have that.
If the town wants
Yeah.
Amgen's $243,000 a year,
And it's not, it's a little
and you're
bit
gonna have
easier.
to have a fire
to get that
marshal that's gonna
certification.
take care of their needs.
I'm
They
one,
have lots of
Steve Mann
needs.
is one.
That goes
Bob's-
beyond these other
Bob is
developments and
one,
him running
Mike
his tail
Rapost
off
just
over
finished his
there.
class, so that'll give us.
Same with chasing, farmer on too.
Well, here's the big thing
There's
too,
not-
folks. What's
All
that?
the schools.
Amgen is West Greenwich, yes, they are.
I don't know.
We contract out to them.
It is, but they made a deal.
Little representative,
But you're gonna look at,
State House redrawing of lines.
if you look at doing
Later.
having 2 fire marshals off more revenue.
What?
More stuff that gets covered,
Yeah.
the more stuff gets done, that's the revenue.
It's also better
You
for the
can do
state.
comparables too.
The
Yeah.
state's up our
I
hill.
don't know what's wrong.
And another entity.
For each square mile.
Yeah, yeah, sick.
And they have like
Yeah.
80 firefighters?
So another part of Steve's
So
study
in that
gonna be
plan-
basically that verbiage in all these contracts, that everything stays. Then each contract, everything stays, and our verbiage that says that if there's any kind of consolidation.
Mm,
Oh,
Everything
in
stays.
event of a
Yeah,
merger, yeah,
Merger,
Yeah.
how do you negotiate?
Or it gets
around
better.
that?
yeah.
I'm saying mine, Steve.
Well,
No.
Well, you look at,
Thank you.
you're gonna negotiate a new contract with the amount of personnel we have. That's
With-
kind of a
with the
slam
town.
dunk.
And we do
Wow.
a gentleman's agreement that at midnight at a certain date at 11:59,
Well, I think-
our contract expires.
I think the council would want an MOU with each union that says, you know, we're not gonna hold you to this clause or something like that before they go into
There
negotiation.
isn't much, the only thing that's in there is just that stability clause, that nobody's gonna lose their jobs and everything
Yeah.
just gets absorbed in. Cause we already know, it's nothing really gonna add on, you're taking all the personnel, you're taking all the apparatus, and you
Yep.
agreed that you have to add personnel, so we're
Yeah.
really
Mm.
gaining, but you'll have to obviously negotiate in the document.
And that-
And I won't say I won't have one already all typed up.
I'm sure you do.
Ha!
The key going forward is the minimum.
Yeah,
Yeah,
If it's wrong, it will bankrupt this town. I can tell you that. If that number's wrong.
no, yeah, I
It'll
agree, I
bankrupt this town.
agree.
Would
You gotta
it,
get it right.
would it be a problem? I don't know how it works, like with MERS and stuff. A lot of our full timers have already been in MERS or are already came from other, like some of them came from Central even. Is that gonna be a problem?
I don't,
Anytime they have in MERS, not a,
I still understand where
Are they
your
vested?
personnel,
Yeah.
Weston?
they'll still have the time of the
Nobody
books,
keeps-
it's Rhode Island pension, so they'll have the time of the book.
But once they're vested.
I know one person did come from another department. I thought it was Central, but maybe it's not.
Join MERS, yeah.
A full-time, one of the full-timers?
Mhm,
Yeah, Kenny, Marcotte,
yeah.
He can join MERS, he has to just turn over his funds in his account. To them, right, Bobby? That was-
yeah, Marcotte was on the job,
Well,
She's saying
Central.
that they're currently in more MERS
Long
withdrawal
before you were
pension.
there.
They
Yeah.
couldn't go
Okay,
into.
so
Yeah, that was-
If he still has,
Yeah.
if he has credits, then he
You're
gets
right.
his credits.
He gets-
I just wanna make
Unless
sure
he
that.
cashed it out.
uh,
No, that's something we have to go through, cause he has a couple options, either he left his credits on file
Mm.
with his money still in that plan, or he took it out. And put it in his 401k.
So that
then
would
he'd
be,
start from scratch.
Mhm.
So that'd be more of like what he
Which would
wants
mean
to,
they'd
it's
have
not
to
gonna
be
be a
best.
hindrance to.
No, cause we already said that they're gonna have the option to either be in MERS or not.
I mean, that data hire would still put them on the list of seniority, but they'd have to start fresh with MERS. From day one, if they decided to go to MERS, if they weren't in the MERS program, they'd have to select to go to the MERS program or stay out of it. If the town allows them to do that, which again, that's their own personal choice, but the seniority would go back to that data hire. So let them know that, like Bobby Mann, Bobby Mann's been on, close to 30 years now.
anything else?
I don't think that's a big list.
I wasn't sure if it'd be okay, because I don't know what.
Can we look at a date to maybe suggest we, you know, get another version, draft of the report out to this committee to review? What is realistic, Maria? In your opinion, based on what you've heard tonight?
And in the manner in which you heard it.
the writing part is probably easier than the data part that, Bob has to put together, so.
Yeah, I mean, most of Bob's stuff's already there, you just gotta tweak it. I think the big piece now is if we're gonna just put that verbiage in about MERS, we can just add that verbiage, and then whatever Steve's piece is, whenever Steve's piece is gonna be ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
If it was the only thing I have to do, I would want at least a couple of days to turn over something to Bob and Dan to look at, not having been present for all your initial meetings.
Yeah.
I don't wanna come at something with a
Jillian's
different.
offering Maria, I would take Jillian up on it, because she was at every meeting.
Vacation.
Come sit with her, yeah.
On
Yeah.
vacation.
She was at every meeting.
Okay.
I will,
I know,
I make babies cry,
It
so.
was
yeah,
supposed to be due in
just saying.
October. So it was a shock today, so I already had the vacation planned until I was due,
Oh, understood.
cause I was just hoarding vacation.
So
So-
like the,
Jillian's a great
is the
resource.
25th feasible? For a new draft for this committee to digest, and then we can pick a date to approve or talk again?
Is that next Thursday?
Yeah, so it's almost 2 weeks, or, we're supposed 26.
Yeah, give me 2 weeks to come up with the next draft
Okay,
and circulate it with staff. And then make sure it makes sense. I don't wanna do something that's coming up with a completely different tone than
yep,
where you guys have been heading. And then, we'll work together to
Yeah, feel free to chat
fill in the gaps and.
before next Wednesday.
Just one more thing if I can add, what are we thinking time frame wise? Any idea?
Implementation?
yeah, for like when it would start.
July 2026.
So looking, yeah, if we wanted,
My
mine
line,
would be July 1, 26.
July 1. We have to shoot for that date.
But as
Well, I think you
is
need-
what you
I
have
think-
now, just to
I think you
become
need to
town.
give, options and say, and to articulate why it needs to be that date. So you need to say if that, so the option that's being put forth in the report is July 1 of 26. However, I think you need to articulate to the council and the public why it should be that over July 1, 27.
A
I don't
timeline
agree,
of
but-
steps is probably make it easier for people to understand. What they're looking at, like how long it's gonna take you to deal with the property issues or the legal issues, do
Right.
any of those have timeframes out of our
That's what I was gonna
control?
say, I do agree with that needs to be ASAP, but I do remember the solicitor saying 27. Because it was gonna take at least a year in the state house.
I'll tell you this right now, I've already spoken to Speaker Srirachi. They want to fast track this. They are sick and tired of Coventry being a mess like this.
That the state house.
Legislative wise,
I'll
I'll tell you this right now, if you put it on their desk, it's gonna get done ASAP. They're tired.
It's legal to go, does it allow legal, it has to happen, it's there, for it to happen.
No, I think it's just
No.
legislation. I
Just-
think speaking with Steve, it's just, he's gotta get it written up, as long as we can get everything in. And all that.
There have
Start in
been
January.
reps that approached me that want to sponsor it.
What happened
Quite a few.
legally from the tax bill, so Hopkins Hill just passed the budget, Central just passed the budget.
Right,
We are taxing taxpayers through next August. They're gonna pay twice for July and August.
but that's something
Yeah,
that,
Maybe
that's
it's
stuff
something we
that's
have
gonna
to
be
go over,
worked out.
right, with Steve and yourself, I guess.
That might be
I
good to
understand
have
the
in a
I
timeline so
understand the
everybody
point.
can kind of see more like a Gantt chart, if everybody knows what that is. Just-
Yes, but it might help.
Yeah, just so people can see visually,
We're already into your budget.
how you're overlapping
Big line,
decision
Yeah.
process, cause some things might not happen when you want them to happen. That might move that date. Yeah,
Well, we got two budgets that were the same date.
Right.
Right? It's a place to start.
Yeah.
You just passed one, we just passed one.
Yeah.
Every
And they,
September.
what, August, right?
But it's mostly whatever.
Yeah, so we're talking literally 1 month that we could look
Your
at.
union contracts, August, end of August.
Mine's up next year, I only got a 1 year deal.
Yeah,
What
Not bad.
month?
It's August.
August.
same as us, yeah.
We double tax.
Oh, well, that's, we did that.
Every other one when it's been done, before it merges, they pass a short year budget.
Right.
So if it was gonna be merged as of July 1 next year, Hopkins Hill and Central should have only passed the trash.
Two district
Yeah, 10 month budget,
budgets,
yeah.
same months, two union contracts, same month.
So realistically, we could look at September 31st or October 1st, realistic date
Yeah, that would be
That's what
clean
I'm
for
saying, it's
everybody.
something
That, you know what I'm saying?
Of
Well,
26.
that would,
Yeah,
that might even be better. even
Two
if it's not on the
contracts,
fiscal
okay.
year.
Two district budgets.
That's what I wonder.
Oh, yeah,
That's
you know,
what-
they go in, line up Anthony's budget.
You
because
can't
they-
bill them for July and August from the town's tax bill, so you're gonna have to issue a separate tax. bill.
I
You
see,
can't.
I see, I see.
Yeah,
Right.
gotta be a July one start.
That's
Either
nasty.
26 or 27.
So when the fire district bill, do they bill for an entire year?
Bill by the
Just like
quarter,
this.
unless it's $100 or more.
they,
$100 or
they
less.
send you the, basically the invoice.
Right,
Yeah.
so they could
You,
You could refund.
Realistically, most people do pay for the year.
at one time,
At one
okay,
time.
that was.
Because I mean, like Pete said, small bills, under $300, they pay it.
18% more than Danny, because I'm
Yep.
always forgetting my bill.
I always get the thing in the mail, it's like, it's
like-
this,
Who's these people in front of my house with an auctioneer thing?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anything else from Maria? All right, so,
Really, honestly, Jillian, if you need Kevin or I to reach out to us, we can help you out. Any questions you have?
I sleep in my red truck now.
How-
That's how busy I am.
Yeah,
I thought I smelled something.
yeah.
I'm gonna sleep in my red truck too.
That's it.
Um,
One of those.
if there's nothing else, I'll adjourn us, do I have a motion to adjourn at 6:56?
Motion.
Motion and second,
Second.
all those in favor say aye,
Aye.
chair votes aye, we stand adjourned. Great meeting, guys, thank you.
I have a question.
I might have an answer.
Jillian, if I don't see you,
So if I.
Happy
best
baby.
wishes to you, I hope